Now the latest on that sensational poisoning trial in Texas. A prominent cancer researcher accused of nearly killing her lover and colleague by spiking his coffee. The other woman in this case was on the stand Tuesday, and ABC's Ryan Owens has that story.
I've gotten progressively discoordinated.
You're watching cell phone video of Dr. George Blumenshine in a hospital waiting room as the poison in his body starts to take its toll. Just off screen, the woman now on trial accused of poisoning him, Dr. Anna Gonzalez.
When he stand up, he was a little unbalanced.
The video was shot in January of 2013 by Blumenshine's girlfriend of more than a decade, Yvette Tony.
I actually thought he's dying in front of me.
Tony spent much of Tuesday on the stand, testifying about how she later found out her boyfriend was having an affair with Dr. Gonzalez.
I felt stupid. I was there for 3 weeks and I kept thinking to myself, you're gonna make me look like a complete idiot. No one said anything to me about this.
Prosecutors say Dr. Gonzalez spiked Dr. Blumenshine's coffee with a sweet-tasting poison found in antifreeze and claimed it was Splenda, all because he chose to stay with Yvette Tony and not her.
She had a special Colombian coffee that she wanted me to try.
Dr. Blumenshine now has permanent kidney damage, and Dr. Gonzalez is charged with aggravated assault. She's pleaded not guilty, but if convicted, the world-renowned cancer doc could spend the rest of her life in prison, which might just be okay with a woman who was cheated on.
Are you still with George Blumenshine?
Yes.
I'll ask what everyone in the room wants to know. Why?
Because I know the affair with the defendant is not the sum of who he really is.
For Good Morning America, Ryan Owens, ABC News, Houston.
And Dan Abrams is back with more on this. So the jury's seeing the video of the possible effects of the poison.
Yeah, very powerful stuff when you're watching that video, seeing it literally coursing through his veins. The question becomes, of course, how does it relate to the issue of guilt or innocence? And look, the most important question in this case, I think, in addition to the medical evidence, is do you believe the doctor? Because if you believe his account, she says to him, I've got a special Colombian brew of coffee I'd like you to try, a new coffee. He says, great, let me try it. Tries it, immediately says, wow, this tastes incredibly sweet. She says, oh, I put in Splenda, etc. Very shortly thereafter, he's in the hospital. They say he's poisoned. Wow. If you believe all of that, it's very hard to think of how the defense is going to be able to overcome that. Now, they're saying medical evidence. They say, well, he could have been poisoned at all sorts of different times. But that whole try my special Colombian brew, followed by this tastes really sweet, isn't helpful to the defendant.
Do you think the defendant will testify?
You know, I think probably not. In addition to the fact that defendants rarely testify in a case like this, in this case, you've got 6 hours of audio tape, 14 different calls recorded between him and her where she's denying it. She's saying, hey, move on with your life, etc. I didn't do this. I don't know why you would think it's me. Why don't you check with your girlfriend? So I think that allows the defense to say, we've put on our case in effect through these audio tapes, don't need to testify.
It has been an odd one, to say the least.
And it's a tough case for this defendant.
It is. All right, Dan, thank you.
Okay.